วัสดีครับอาจารย์ครับผมสวัสดีครับอาจารย์ครับผม
Hello, everybody. Welcome to another Dhamma meeting where we will discuss the Buddhist practices of charity, morality, and meditation. Everyone who's interested is welcome to join. We shall start with our first participant, which is Johanna from Indonesia. Johanna?
Hello, Ajaan. Good evening. I don't have any question today. Thank you, Ajaan.
No question from you tonight.
No question tonight, Ajaan. I just want to listen to your Dhamma. Thank
Okay.
you.
Go to Willie from Indonesia.
Good evening, Ajaan. Today I also don't have any questions. Thank you.
Okay. How do you address yourself? Mechi, Pixuni, or what?
They call me Mechi here.
Mechi.
Yeah.
Follow the Thai tradition.
Yes, because the monastery is actually established by Thai monks.
Okay.
Yeah.
If you're in Mahayana, what would they call you? If you're in the Mahayana,
I'm not sure about that.
they don't have Mechi tradition there.
Yeah, I don't think so.
But they have Bhikkhuni, right? Mahayana.
Yeah, I think they have Bhikkhuni.
Okay. Okay, next, Kwan Liman from Malaysia.
Ajaan, I'm still not thinking much, so the mind is quiet and happy within. I did contemplation on birth, which I find more impact. Yeah, so I contemplated on childhood and teenager, and having to go to school for many years, and then adulthood, busy working for many years. And then, most important, I contemplated on the practice. Ajaan, can you hear me?
Yes, go ahead.
Okay. If in the birth I cannot find a true teacher that teaches the teaching of the Buddha, it will take even longer time to be liberated. And worse still, if I'm reborn as an animal, there's no chance to practice. So I contemplated this way. And I also contemplate on the 4 elements. The earth element in the body is no different than any of the rock or table or car or things outside. And the water element in the body is no different from the water outside. So when I did the contemplation, the mind remained at peace. The time, Ajaan, when the mind is quiet and calm, there were times when I see the craving and defilements rise and cease. The mind did not react on those craving and defilements. There was only when the mindfulness is very solid and the mind was empty, then only I saw the rise and fall. Yeah, that was how I practiced, Ajaan.
Yes, but do you still do what your cravings ask you to do?
No, I didn't react to.
You didn't do anything your cravings want you to do, watching, listening, drinking, for enjoyment.
Yeah, I was putting the cup of tea in my mouth, and then I saw the craving, and then I did not drink it. Then it just go, the craving just ceased. So it was a experience that, yeah, it
You-
rise and it just,
You should ask yourself, what does the body need? The body needs water, but it doesn't need tea, right? It doesn't
yeah,
need the taste of tea, doesn't need. So just when you're thirsty, just drink water. Don't drink anything with flavor or or smell or color to enlighten, to make it enjoying. You don't want to enjoy your intake of the four elements. You want to take them for maintenance of your body. Like when you breathe in the air, you don't choose what brand of air you're breathing, right? You just breathe the air, the natural air. So when you drink water, you don't choose whether it's Pepsi or whether it's Coke or whether it's whatever they're selling in the market. These are all sensual pleasure. You have to know how to separate the essential from the sensual, from the sensual pleasure.
Yeah. So at that moment when I saw it, I just didn't drink it. But after that, when I was not mindful, I drank it.
I know sometimes when we contemplate, we thought we know everything. But when the time comes, we just seem to just went blind when our cravings come up for the things we used to like. We forget all about contemplation.
Yeah, but I was very happy to see that moment when it comes up and it just sees away when I do not react on that craving.
Yeah.
So I have to do more.
So you have to watch your action, whatever you do, whether you do it out of for sensual pleasure or you do it out of necessity for the body.
Yes. But I have not been going out so much already, not even to the temple. So I'm contented practicing at home.
Yeah. You're abstaining your sensual organs from contacting sensual objects. You are restraining, not abstaining, restraining your sensual organs, your eyes, ears, nose, tongue, and body, not to go after the sensual objects.
Yeah. Yeah. Thank you so much, Ajaan, because of the 6 hours on the spot, it helps a lot it improves a lot in the practice.
Yes, increase your mindfulness, and it's also resistant to your cravings. You can overcome a lot of your non-essential cravings, cravings to move around, to do this and that for no particular purpose other than just to pass the time. Sometimes we do things just to pass time.
Yes. Yeah, I'm so grateful that I can join Zoom and listen to Ajaan Facebook Q&A and also the talk, and it helps a lot in the practice that I have to go through on my own. I'm so grateful to have a teacher to guide me along the way. Yeah. Since I came back, since I joined Zoom and joined Facebook and see Ajaan in person, I find that my practice is better now. Thank you so much, Ajaan.
Okay, I hope it keep improving until you get to the top. Okay.
I haven't.
Don't stop improving yourself. Don't stop improving. Don't be smart.
Yeah. Ajaan, I haven't feel Jubilee yet, but I can manage to get into the same state of calmness and emptiness every time I sit. But I'm still thinking of the Jubilee that Ajaan was saying.
Yeah. Keep watching your cravings. Try to stop them. Get rid of them.
Yeah. So,
Okay.
but yes, okay. Thank you so much,
All right. Next, Claudia for Nuremberg, Germany. You're not teaching today.
Good afternoon at Tanatan. Today I have my afternoon off, so I'm at home and can enjoy the Dhamma talk.
How's your translation work coming along? We finished with all your translation.
So Kenneth is still helping me with proofreading the Skype sessions, and I'm very grateful for that. And while the proofreading, while Kenneth is doing the proofreading, I still translate your biography.
Beyond
And
Birth.
It's beautiful. I love to translate this very interesting book, and it's wonderful. I think it's the best book I ever translated.
Did you finish the first book yet?
Yes.
I see.
The first book is finished by me, but so about each week, my husband and I send another chapter to Kenneth for proofreading, and we will publish it when everything is really fine and good.
Okay, just want to know. So when you finish, we can then post it on my website also for people to download.
Yes, that's what we would like to do. Yes.
The first book is about sensual pleasure. It's painful. Is that the book you're translating?
The first book was the Skype sessions. So the first book that I translated of you is was the Skype sessions. I think it was volume 6.
Oh, Q&A session.
Yes. Yes.
Dhamma for the asking.
Yes, exactly.
Okay.
Yeah, it's very good.
Okay. So maybe your German friends can understand better the teaching of the Buddha.
Yes, we want to publish it also on the German website of the community I'm a member of. It's a community where Theravada and Mahayana unite because we are very few members. And for the Theravada school, we want to publish the Skype sessions.
Which one is finished, complete, is already published?
Excuse me, Taracha?
The first book is already complete and you have published it already.
No,
Posted it already.
it's not published yet because
I see.
because we still send chapter by chapter to Kenneth for proofreading it.
I see.
Yeah, and I'm very grateful that he does it.
So this is the first book, the question and answer. Okay,
Yes.
Dhamma for the asking. Yeah, okay. Kenneth just show me.
Yeah.
I'm gonna see.
Yes.
Okay, whenever you finish, let me know. Send me the link so I can then have it download and then put it on my website for for others to download it.
Yes, I will do. I will definitely do. Yeah. Thank you.
Right. Good. Anything you like to say or ask tonight besides the book?
Not at the moment, maybe later.
Okay.
Thank you.
Go to Professor Kenneth from Switzerland.
Good afternoon, Ajaan. Yeah,
Yes.
I think we're on the final chapter now,
I see. Okay.
so it should be quite soon.
Good. You find it interesting? Good enough? Informative?
Yeah, actually, I remember at the time these Skype sessions were live, I was listening to them at the time. I think it was the end of 2014.
Mm-hmm.
So it's very enjoyable to read it again very carefully, and I get a lot out of it. Thank you.
Good. Anything tonight?
Yeah, Ajaan, I wanted to ask, I think yesterday was the Magga Bucha,
Yes.
and I wonder if you could briefly say something about the importance of that and the teaching that the Buddha gave on that day.
Okay. This is the day in which 1,250 noble disciples, Arahant disciples, who was ordained by the Buddha and who became enlightened after listening to the Buddha's teaching. After they became enlightened and became Buddhist bhikkhu, the Buddha sent them to in separate directions to go spread the Dhamma teaching. And after they've been away for a while, I think the mind thought a lot of the Buddha, and somehow all 1,250 Arahants just decide to come and pay the Buddha a visit unannounced, and no, without any appointment, just from the heart. So on that day, Makabuche Day, which is the third month, the third lunar month of the lunar calendar, on the full moon, all 1,250 noble disciples came and paid respect to the Buddha. And that day, the Buddha gave a summary of the teaching of his teaching, maybe as a guideline for other noble disciples to follow. That all the Buddhas teach these three things. First, abstain from all bad karma. Abstain from doing all bad karma. Second, do as much good karma as you can. Third, purify your mind. Purify your mind by the practice of vipassana, samatha, and vipassana meditation. So this is basically what the Buddha taught, to let the noble disciples know. They already knew, but maybe they might not get the picture. So the Buddha sort of paint the picture that every Buddha who became enlightened will teach these three things: avoiding or abstaining from doing bad karma, such as killing, stealing, committing adultery, lying, and taking alcohol, drinking intoxicant, things like that, including gambling and and being lazy. Being lazy also is a vice according to Buddhism, because when you're lazy, you're not producing anything. So this is the bad karma that we should abstain from doing, and then try to do as much good karma as we can, as we come across, like giving, sharing, helping other people, making other people happy. And thirdly, to go and meditate to purify the mind with the practice of samatha and vipassana meditation. So, but there are some other minor teaching included. I can remember. You have to read in the text. You abstain from hurting other people, to seek solitude in quiet places, things like this. Do not say bad thing about other people. Do not hurt other people. And be restrained with the sila, with the monastic rule or monks. Be restrained by the monastic code. And seek quiet places to do meditation. Something like this. This is the other parts of the teaching that he taught. But the principal one is these three things: avoiding doing bad karma, do only good karma, and purify the mind. This is the path for freedom from suffering. This is the path to the freedom of suffering, in which every Buddha who became enlightened will discover and will teach these three things. So basically, this is what Maka Puja is about: to announce to the world that there are at least 1,250 arahants, which never appeared in this world before the Buddha became enlightened. But only 7 months after the Buddha became enlightened and spread the teaching, he could already create 1,250 arahants. So it will make people, give inspiration to people to follow his teaching. That the teaching is not void of any result. Follow his teaching and you will become a noble disciple within a very short time if you are capable. See, most of the early students of the Buddha taught were all ordained people. They are recluse. They're keeping the sila. and they can meditate and enter into jhana already, but they lack the wisdom that will tell them how to get rid of the suffering which are caused by their own cravings. They don't know this. So when the Buddha said your suffering is created by your cravings, so they have the capacity to stop their own cravings if they come up. Like the desire for not to get old, not to get sick or die. This is what causing us to have stress concerning our body. But if we know that if we don't want any stress, we just have to stop this desire not to get old, not to get sick or die. Meaning to accept the aging, sickness, and death as they come, because there's no other way we can stop them. And when we stop our desire from not wanting to get old, get sick, or die, we have no stress. When we get old, when we get sick, or when we die, we just remain calm and normal, as if we were not sick or dying. So this is what made the earliest group of students become enlightened very quickly. As soon as they heard and they understood the cause and consequences of suffering and craving, the connection, then they can stop the cause of suffering, which is craving. Then they became enlightened. Once they became enlightened, they wanted to be part of the Buddhist Sangha. So he asked the Buddha to give them the ordination. And the Buddha just said, come and be my bhikkhu. And that's it. So they became his bhikkhu, his followers. And then he told them to go separately in different direction to spread this new found knowledge to other people who doesn't know. So they go to in separate direction and go alone, not to go together. So the message can be spread as wide as possible. So maybe after they went, they taught and they created more noble disciples. So that's why within the 7 months period, from the day the first day he started teaching to the day when Amaka Bhucha Day, is 7 months. So there is already 1,250 arahants appear on this earth, which never happened before the Buddha became enlightened. And this meeting will only usually happen only once in every Buddha's era.
Mhm.
Okay, so this is the significance of the situation.
Okay.
See, in Buddhism, we have 3 important days which recollect or commemorate the Buddha, the Dhamma, and the Sangha. The day that we commemorate the Buddha was Visakha Puja, the day when the Buddha was born, became enlightened, and passed away. This is the day we actually commemorating of the Buddha. Then on the 8th month of the lunar calendar, we celebrate Asalaha Puja Day, which is the day when he spread the teaching, when he proclaimed the teaching to the world, the first sermon, the Dhammacakka Vattana Sutta. So we call this the day we commemorating the Buddha's teaching or the Dhamma. And then Magha Bhucha Day, this is the day when we commemorating the day of the Sangha, in which there are 1,250 noble disciples come together to join and to pay respect to the Buddha. So this is the more or less like the heart of Buddhism, included in these 3 days: the Buddha, the Dhamma, and the Sangha. So we want to keep up this tradition so we can pass it on to our next generation.
Okay.
So then they would want to know what is Magha Bhucha, then they can let go and do some research do some study and find out what actually happened on that day. One is Visakha Bucha Day. They go research and they find this is the story of the Buddha. And on Asala Bucha Day, the day when the Buddha first gave the first sermon, the first Dhamma teaching. So they would learn these three things refers to the triple gem, the Buddha, the Dhamma, and the Sangha. So in Thailand, we celebrate these 3 days in a big way, like people giving food. On Magha Bucha Day, I counted about 1,080 people giving food. It took about 1 hour and 40 minutes. Normally it took about 45 minutes to 1 hour. But on Magha Bucha, we have 1 hour and 40 minutes. And about 1,080 people. On regular normal day, there's only about 200 people. Like today, there's less than 200, about 200 people. And on weekend or on Buddhist holiday, Buddhist Sabbath day, we have usually 300 plus. But on big days like these 3 days that we commemorate the Buddha, Dhamma, and Sangha, we have more than 1,000 people giving food. So it's a big day in Buddhist calendar for Thai Buddhists. And every temple will then do what we call the candle procession around the stupa or around the shrine to pay respect to the Buddha, the Dhamma, and Sangha. We'll go around, walk around 3 times with candle and incense lighted. And then after that, the temple will lead practice of meditation, listening to Dhamma talk for the whole night until morning. Not every temple, but some temple do some more serious temple will do this practice every time they have this special holiday. Okay, anything else?
That's very clear. Thank you very much for that teaching, Ajaan. Thank you.
Okay. Next, Anura and Ramya from New Zealand.
Hi, thank Ajaan. Good evening. So I think I want to ask about the Magha Puja. I think Kenneth asked. So just thank you for that. We didn't know that that's for the reason. So thank you for explanation. And it was inspiring to watch the Pindapat. And I saw that at the end of the Pindapat, so it's distributed to some people at the end, so excess food. So
Poor people come and receive food every day.
Yeah.
We have the excess food, so it's useless to keep it. You have to look after it. So it's better just to give it away right away.
Yeah. Thanks for explanation, Ajaan. Thank you.
Okay.
I have no question. Happy to
Alright.
listening from.
No question from you, Ramya?
Not today, Ajahn.
Okay.
Thank you.
Maybe later if you like. There's always second chance, second serving.
So it was interesting to listen to the previous discussion about craving. So we have the same. So when you're in a peaceful mode, it's easy to contemplate and meditate. But when you're in pain or in distress, so it's hard to get back to think about that craving. So we always naturally do what we have used to do. So
we need to practice a lot of meditation to get equanimity. Once we have equanimity, then we can remain aloof. And be able to take control of our cravings.
Because we are with friends and family, so we also tend to do what others do sometimes.
That's why the Buddha say only associate with people who are more advanced equally advanced as you are. Don't
Yes.
associate with people who are less advanced in the practice.
That's true.
Mm.
That's very true. Yeah. So we have cut down a lot of we don't watch TV, and I mean not much social interaction, but we do the absolute must have. So it's still
Yes.
I don't know how people continue while watching and having entertainment. Now we realize it's the most difficult part. Yeah.
People need something to feed their minds. So
Yes. Yeah.
if there's no sensual objects to feed their mind, they become lonely, they become sad,
Yeah.
because their mind keep craving for these sensual objects all the time. But if you meditate and you can temporarily stop this craving, then you feel happy without having to watch anything or drink anything or eat anything.
Yeah.
So meditation is a very good form of making your mind contented, bring contentment to your mind through meditation. Then you can stop a lot of this sensual activities. Okay, we'll go to the next person.
Thank you.
Next, Avani from Kuala Lumpur. There are quite people from Malaysia and Singapore visiting now. We have about two groups. One group 60 of them, and another group of 30 of them.
All right. Good evening, Ajaan. Yeah, Malaysia, I think it's holiday now as well. A lot of people are traveling as well.
Yeah.
So
And
it's
this
cool.
morning, a lady from Indonesia also came and gave food in the morning. I think she brought some donation from Rusli, I think.
Yeah. I don't have any question at the moment, Ajaan. Yeah, I'm just listening.
Okay.
Thanks.
Good. I'll go to Kok Seng from Singapore then. Kok Seng.
Good evening, Ajaan. Yeah, tonight I have some questions to ask. Recently, I was listening to a YouTube video of a talk about meditation. So just hope that Ajaan can help to clarify some of my doubts. One of them is in the video was mentioned that there is the Buddha was asked what type of meditation is praised by the Buddha, and the Buddha mentioned that the meditation that leads to the jhana are praised by the Buddha, and the Buddha is also asked what type of meditation is not praised by Buddha, and the Buddha replied that those meditation that do not lead to the eradication of the five hindrances is not praised by the Buddha. So from here, if the speaker was saying that during the Buddha's time, the Buddha only teach samatha meditation and did not teach vipassana meditation. And vipassana is only used when we are not in meditation for dealing with our life day-to-day problems. So I just want to verify with Ajaan, is this correct?
No, the Buddha taught both samatha and vipassana meditation, but the instance that they were talking about was when he was talking about just merely samatha meditation. But he also taught vipassana. The Four Noble Truths is vipassana. The three characteristics of existence is vipassana. Birth, aging, sickness, and death. This is vipassana. Asupa, this is vipassana. Yeah. This is knowledge. Vipassana is knowledge. Samatha is equanimity or calm. So you need both in order to be able to overcome your cravings. Yeah. So first you develop samatha to get equanimity. Then you teach your mind the hidden side of truth that we don't see, like death. We don't talk about death. We don't talk about asupa. So we have to bring up this side of the truth. Bring it into the front burner. It's usually being kept in the back burner. People don't want to think about death, don't want to think about aging, don't want to think about sickness. Because when they think, they feel unhappy. So in order for you to be able to think about this thing without not being unhappy, you have to have meditation. You have to have equanimity. If you have equanimity, you come out from jhana, your mind will not be reacting to this information, this knowledge. So you can then contemplate it for a long time. The reason why you need to contemplate for a long time is because so that you don't forget. See, generally we keep forgetting about death. Even now, I think you forget about that. It's only now that we bring it up. If you don't come into this room, you probably won't heard about death at all.
So, Prajan, so when we so-called teach our minds, you're referring to we do contemplation. That means we think over what we are
Keep thinking about it. Keep thinking about repeating it until you remember, until you never forget. Right now, you keep forgetting. As soon as you leave this room, you forget about death. You start thinking about living for a long life, planning for retirement and so forth. When in fact, you might not live to retirement. You might die before that. But you never think it like that. See?
I've actually heeded Ajaan advice. I've already retired. I've already quit my work. Yeah. Prajan, can I just clarify? So when we are doing contemplation, we are actually doing vipassana meditation.
Yes.
And
but you have to do it separately from meditation. When you meditate, you don't want to contemplate because they are going against each other. When you meditate, you want to stop thinking. But when you contemplate, you have to think. So don't do contemplation when you do meditation. You want to stop thinking. And once the thinking stops, you should keep it stop for a long time, as long as possible. It's only when after you come out of meditation and then you start to think about everything around you, then you can start thinking about this truth. Not when you're meditating. When you come out of meditation and you go for walking meditation, for instance, then you can do vipassana then.
And how long should we do the contemplation after our samatha meditation?
Until your mind remains calm all the time.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you, Prajan.
Next, Melinda from Singapore.
Hello, Don Ajaan. No questions for now.
Okay. I'll go to Gary also from Singapore. Gary?
Well, good evening, Tanajan. Tanajan, I have some doubts regarding sati and sampajana. Very often we hear that we have to concentrate and focus on developing of sati, which is mindfulness, but very seldom we hear anything about sampajana. Does it mean that once we focus on developing of sati, sampajana automatically gets developed? Is that the understanding?
Sampajana means continuous mindfulness.
Oh, okay.
That's all.
It's not clear understanding sampajana.
No. Sampajana is constantly mindful all the time.
Okay. All right. Okay.
When you're mindful all the time, then you can have clear comprehension.
I see. Okay.
But if you don't comprehend, you don't have clear comprehension.
Okay, so have to have clear mindfulness. That's the meaning of
continuous mindfulness, then you can have clear comprehension.
Okay, continuous. All right. Okay, thank you, Tanajan.
So you start from mindfulness because when you start with your mindfulness practice, it tends to go off and on. You might be mindful for a few seconds or a few minutes, then you forget about your meditation object, your focus, and you let your mind go think about other things. So you're not mindful already.
Okay. Because Mhm.
or even within a few seconds, you can be reciting Putto and the next thing you were already thinking about something else.
Yeah, the minds get very quickly away. Sometimes only maybe 20-30% on Putto, and the rest is thinking of something else. Yeah.
See, we can do Putto for 1 minute without thinking about other things. Seriously, try and see if you can do it for 1 minute without thinking about other things. Especially when this 1 minute appears, you don't even think that.
Yeah, sometimes when we are doing chanting and the mind is already thinking of something.
That means you're not mindful already.
Yeah, yes. Okay, thank you, Tanatan.
All right. Philip from Malaysia. Where is Adeline? She's in the other room. Oh, here she is.
Good evening, Ajaan. I don't have any questions. I mean, Kenneth already asked the same question I wanted to ask just now. So,
Okay.
yeah, it should be okay.
Mangkapucha.
Yes.
Okay, good. All right. Go to Aparajita from Dubai.
Good evening, Ajaan.
Yes. How are you? Good?
I'm fine. I kind of have a short question. It might seem a little obvious, but what would it be to contemplate? Meaning, I understand it's a thinking within a focused framework. Like supposing if I contemplate my teeth and I say, okay, what is my teeth mind? Is it that kind of questioning within a fixed time? Like, how would it be?
Contemplating to see the true nature of this particular subject, like your body. When you contemplate your body, you want to study the nature of this body. Is it permanent or not permanent? Will it get old or not get old? Will it get sick or not get sick? Will it die or not die? This is the study that you want to find out about this body.
Okay. So that repeated sort of questioning and staying with elements.
Within the framework of the three characteristics of existence.
All right.
Everything you study, you want to put it in the frame of these three characteristics of existence. Whether it's your body, your feelings, or your mind, they must be within this frame of the three characteristics of existence.
Okay. All right.
So you will see how they work. You will see that your dukkha, your stress, arising from not seeing the true nature of your body, or forgetting the true nature of your body. Your stress results from your desire, not wanting to let your body get sick or die. If you do this, it means you already forget that the body is subjected to aging, sickness, and death. So you must not think that you would want the body not to get old, get sick, or die. Because if you want, you are creating stress for your mind. But if you keep constantly thinking the body is gonna get old, get sick, and die, and it's nothing I can stop, nothing can prevent it from happening. It's anatta, it's not under my control. So then you will let go of you're trying to control your body. And we tend to want to control our body, want to keep it healthy, strong, but to a point we can do that, but eventually one day we cannot be able to do it. And if we still want to try, we can create a lot of stress for the mind. Our goal is not to create stress, not to create dukkha, by seeing the truth of anicca and anatta. Once we can accept the truth of anicca and anatta, then we'll stop resisting the truth, not fighting against the truth. So this is what you want to keep contemplating on. First, you do the body part first. The body first. The body is the most obvious subject that we can study. While the feeling is a little more subtle. You cannot see with your eyes. Feeling, you have to feel it. And your mind is the same thing. You cannot see with your eyes. You have to know it. But the thing that you can see with your eye, you see every day, is your body. So you want to first learn and study the nature of the body and try to stop creating stress for the mind by trying to over-managing your body. You can manage the body to a certain level, to a manageable level. But if you want to try to do it beyond the manageable level, you can cause stress. Okay, so this is contemplation. Study the nature, teaching the mind the true nature of the body, so that you don't become attached to it. Let it be. When the time comes, if it's gonna get sick, if you cannot do anything about it, then you just have to live with it. Same way with death. Aging is a lot easier because we can, it doesn't hurt so much like sickness or death. But it can hurt some people. They don't even want to get old. Okay.
Thank you.
In order for you to be able to contemplate this for a long time, you need to have a calm, peaceful mind. That's why you need to practice samatha, to have equanimity. With equanimity, you will not have any sense of negative reaction to the truth. Sometimes people don't like to think about getting old, getting sick, and die. Every time they think, they feel sad, so they don't want to do it. But if after you come out of your meditation, your mind tends to be very calm and not reacting to the truth. Then you can then study and try to put it into your memory. The reason is to study and until you don't forget. So whenever something happened to your body, you will not react. You say, this is the way it is. Okay, I'm getting sick. I catch COVID. Okay. So what? Oh, I'm gonna die. The doctor say you got cancer, terminal cancer. Okay. Yeah. You have to be prepared for these things before it happens. Then you will have no stress. Your mind will remain peaceful and calm, separated from the body. Because the mind and the body are two separate entities. They are identical. They're attached twin. They're attached to each other, but they are not the one and the same thing. They're separate. The mind doesn't get sick or die with the body. So the mind shouldn't have any stress, any worry or anxiety regarding the body, getting old, getting sick or die. This is the goal of practice. To be able to accept aging, sickness, and death without any qualm. Okay.
Thank you.
All right. Next, PL Walpola from India, right? PL.
Canada, actually.
Canada, I'm sorry.
Toronto, Canada, yes.
Toronto.
Yes, Bhante, Sadhu. I have a question about emptiness. I don't know whether this is too much of a deep subject or not, but anyway, I thought I'll ask. When you talk about emptiness in the sutra text, they're talking about emptiness of a self from the five aggregates. Yeah. Also, sometimes is commonly defined as that. Sometimes of the six senses, but emptiness is five aggregates. Emptiness of self from the five aggregates. Is it the same as Sakayaditi, or is it like a bigger phenomena, like emptiness of all phenomena? For example, arising and passing away. Yang Kinchi Samudaya Sabbandha Nirodha, in between emptiness, or is it something? Is it point to the same, or is it different?
Well, when we speak of emptiness, there are actually two aspects of emptiness. The physical emptiness is when we're in space, this is considered to be empty, right? When you enter into space. But when you're on Earth, you have everything around you. So you're not empty. Okay, it's not empty. You have people, things, mountain and trees and so forth. This is the physical emptiness. And another emptiness, which is more important, is the mental emptiness, the mind. Okay, the mind is like a television screen. When you turn on the television, what happens on the screen? You got pictures of people and things running all over the screen, right?
Yes.
So when you turn it off, what happens? All this picture disappear. Then you got emptiness. It's the same thing when you meditate. When you're not meditating, your mind creating all these emotion, feelings, and sensual objects coming through the body all the time. So this is not emptiness. But when you meditate, you're pulling on your mind away from these sensual objects and stopping the mind from thinking, from creating emotions and feeling and everything that appears in the mind. So when you reach the fourth jhana, everything becomes empty. The mind becomes empty of all these objects, these mental objects. That's where we want to go to, because when in that emptiness there is peace and happiness and equanimity and contentment. See, and we have two types of emptiness: mental emptiness. One is the temporary emptiness when we enter into jhana. But once we come out of jhana, this emptiness will disappear because the mind will start to create things again and start receiving sensual objects into the mind again. So the mind start to become agitated, start to become restless, so forth. In order to make the mind as if it's empty, like when it's in jhana, you have to use wisdom to teach the mind to let go of all the sensual objects that it comes into contact with. Even though there might be sensual objects in the mind, as long as the mind is not attached or reacting to them, then it's as if the mind is still empty. So we need the contemplation of wisdom to be able to let go of the mind's attachment to everything that appears in the mind. Then you get this permanent emptiness, which we call nibbana eventually.
So is it equivalent to nibbana at the end?
Yes, permanent emptiness. When the mind is, even though if the mind come into contact with anything, it's still reacting as if it's in empty space. It doesn't react to anything.
So you start from an object and slowly go deeper and deeper, like from the form to the next aggregates slowly, and eventually
you pull your mind away from the aggregates by using anapanasati, mindfulness of breathing. Keep watching your breath, and then your mind will be pulled away from the body. And also stopping thinking, stopping the mind from thinking to generate feelings and emotions. Then when the mind stops, then everything becomes empty, everything disappears. All that is left is just peace and equanimity and happiness.
But this emptiness doesn't last, like when you come out of the meditation, for example, talk about nibbana, like when you come out with your reacting with the rest of the monks.
When you come out, your defilement will start working again. See? Your craving will start to come to play. This is why you need the work of wisdom to get rid of your craving. When you come out, when you see a bottle of Coke, you say, "Oh, I'm thirsty. I want to drink a Coke." Or when you see a plate of pizza, you say, "Oh, I want to eat pizza." So this is craving.
So the arahat stops at when you see, you only see when you hear. In other words, they don't go on.
No craving, no cravings toward anything. No craving toward anything.
Yeah, no proliferation of thoughts. In other words, no prapanya. They stop.
No attraction and no aversion to anything that it comes into contact with. This is the work of, you need the work of wisdom to be able to teach the mind not to react.
They are aware of everything pretty much happening, but the craving is gone. That's all.
Yeah, it's not affected by what appears, what it comes into contact with.
Got it. Thank you, Bhante.
Okay.
Thank you. I have. Is there room for another question?
Sure. Plenty of time.
Okay, so I'm talking about the equanimity. Like there are three ways of describing equanimity. One is of the fourth jhana, as the second one is at the Brahma Vihara, so the last Brahma Vihara, and also the seven factors for enlightenment, are they pointing to the same? I believe
Yes,
they are pointing
same
to the
thing.
same.
They are same thing.
Yeah. Yes.
Same thing.
Yeah.
So you need to practice meditation to get to equanimity. Once you have equanimity, then it's easy for you to have metta, karuna, and mudita. If your mind is not contented, it's very hard to be metta, karuna, and mudita.
So metta practice 2 leads to jhanas. That's the fourth jhana is what's called the fourth Brahmavihara, in other words.
Yes, you meditate to get to the equanimity. Once your mind have equanimity, your mind is content, happy, then you can be kind, be nice to other people. If your mind is not happy, if your mind is angry, you cannot be nice or kind to people. So you need to have equanimity in order to have the other three Brahma Vihara.
Yeah, when you talk about the equanimity of the seven factors for enlightenment,
It's
actually
the same thing.
Same thing. Now, when you talk about seven factors for enlightenment, I mean, you cannot have two paths for enlightenment, so it has to fit to the eightfold path. So I believe the seven factors of enlightenment, another expression for Samma Samadhi, Samma Sati, Samma Samadhi, because Samma Sati is Atapi Sampajano Satima, is already in the first three of the seven factors of enlightenment. And the last four jhanas.
It is the Noble Eightfold Path in a different guise, that's all.
That's all.
Yeah, it's the same thing.
Same thing. Thank you.
Yeah, okay. All right, next. Is that all, by the way?
That's it. That's it.
Okay,
Thank you, sir.
fine. Okay. Next, Christine Koe from Penang.
Good evening, Ajaan. Listening to your Dharma talk just now, I feel that, oh, so easy to attain, but it's not easy to do.
The reason why it's not easy to do is because you don't do it, that's all. Once you start doing it, it will become easy. Yeah. When you first start doing something new, it seems hard. As soon as you keep doing it, then it can become easy eventually. So keep doing. Don't let the difficult part block you from getting to the easy part. Once you start doing, then it will become easy as you practice, as you keep practicing. Okay.
Yes, sir. Okay, I will try.
Okay. Next, Sui and Jack from Vancouver, Canada.
Ajaan, that was really good. About the Maga Puja. Now, I really like the teaching, and I didn't know the 3 days. I only know Visakha Puja.
Yeah, I think mostly in other countries they only celebrate the Visakha Puja Day only.
Yeah.
But not the other two, the Asalaha Puja and Maka Puja.
Maga Puja. And until I know you, then and you explain about the Buddha, Dhamma, and Sangha. Oh, it makes so much sense to actually have the 3 days instead of just the Visakha that we usually celebrate. But 3 days, Thailand is so wonderful to keep the tradition going with the Maga Puja and the Asala Puja. And Ajahn, you were saying the Asala Puja is the one that the Buddha give the Dhamma Cakkappavattana.
The first discourse.
So it's about the Four Noble Truths, Ajahn.
And Noble Eightfold Path.
Noble Eightfold Path. And then just now you were explaining that the Maga Puja is about is all the Buddha were taught about doing good and avoid doing evil and purify the mind.
Yes, this is the summary of the teaching of all the Buddhas.
Oh, and
it covers everything. It covers everything.
So it covers all that's the
all,
main.
All of your practices. Sila, Dana, Sila, and Bhavana.
Oh.
Avoiding bad karma is Sila, or morality.
Yeah.
Doing a good thing is called charity or Dana. doing good karma. And purifying the mind is meditation, bhavana. So it's another guy, it's the same thing. Dana, sila, and bhavana in a different appearance, that's all. The Buddha is quite clever. So he can make his teaching interesting all the time. He's always introducing something new. But actually it's old wine, a new bottle.
So he can and he gives so many different analogies to Ajahn.
It's very good at marketing, the Buddha. Marketing the Dhamma teaching. So people don't get bored. There's always some new product coming out from his company.
And last time I remember you talked about the franchise. So funny too. Like the franchise system is like go and check on the franchise.
This is the way the Buddha laid out his franchise from the start. See? This is how I want my teaching to be taught. So all the noble disciples know what to teach in the same manner, in the same way. So it's like having different branches of his teaching spread all around the world. Like they have McDonald's and KFC all over the world.
But I remember you talked about Longta Mahabua, like you check on the So the Buddha doesn't do that, right? He can't.
He traveled to different parts of the. He goes and check his noble disciples everywhere he went. See? He didn't say put in one place. He keep moving around.
Oh, he's always moving around.
Yeah, he stay here for one or two months. Then he will go to the next location, and he go on to the next location. To teach the Dhamma, and also maybe to meet his noble disciples who might have established monasteries and see how they are doing.
Oh, wow.
It's like checking his franchise, whether they came up to
I love Ajaan's analogy. So you can be so modern too. And like the Visakha Puja, like what's the main teaching, Ajahn?
The Buddha teaching that the birth, enlightenment, and his passing away. That's the teaching. The story of the Buddha. The story of the Buddha. We're commemorating the birth, the enlightenment, and the passing away of the Buddha. So we study his life story. He was born as a prince, and then he became a monk at the age of 29, became enlightened at the age of 35. And after his enlightenment, he became a supreme spiritual teacher for 45 years until his passing away. So we can use his lifestyle as our example, our model to follow his lifestyle. His lifestyle is a life of service other people for 45 years. Before he can become a teacher, he has to become a student first. So when the first 6 years, he spent all the time studying and practicing until he reached enlightenment. After he got to enlightenment, then he start teaching. And he kept teaching every day. He teach about 3 or 4 times a day, every day. In the afternoon, he taught to the lay people. In the evening, he taught to the monks and the bhikkhunis. Late at night, he taught to the spiritual beings, the devas. And early in the morning, before he go on his arms round, he'll scan to see who he will see who needs his teaching most on that day. He will go to that person. So this is his normal routine. He has five things he does every day. Teaching people for and then the 5th one is going on arms round to feed his body. That's all he does. That's all his activity.
Wow.
Okay, so we study his lifestyle and use it as our example and
Wow.
follow his example. First, we are now students. We have to be studious, keep studying and keep practicing for the goal of enlightenment. Once we have reached enlightenment, then we can teach. But don't do that. Don't teach before you become enlightened, because you'll be like a blind teaching a blind.
Mm.
You have to open your eyes first before you can see. Once you can see, then you can tell the other people how to open their eyes so they can also see.
Mm. Yes, Ajahn.
Okay.
Tan Ajahn, may I offer like my service like to people that maybe would like your books beyond birth, like for example Aparajita or Dean or yeah, sorry if I miss anyone, but please feel free to let me know if you like Beyond Birth, the book. Yeah.
Okay. I cannot let you know because I don't need them. There's people who need them who will let you know. And they can contact my assistant email if they want any book. Then my assistant can contact you and let you know.
I don't. The book is here. Is it?
I don't have time to come and do this thing. I have enough work on my hand. Like last Sunday, I had to cancel my weekly Q&A meeting because I didn't have enough time.
Is it because like there's thousands of people that day to like do the
It happened that day. It's my shaving day, and I have to shave.
Oh.
Also,
But
I
the one with the
I just didn't have enough time to do the Q&A if I have to shave that day, because then I have to rest also before, and then I have to prepare for my afternoon teaching also on that day. So there are quite a lot of plate on my hand on that day.
That's not the same day as the one that you said, like there's 1,000 people like doing like dana, like
That's the day after.
Oh.
It was Monday. See, Monday. But I had to shave on Sunday.
Oh. So wow, thousands of people, Ajahn. So you have to like walk like
Walking the same distance, but it just takes longer time. That's all, because there are so much more people to give food.
Yeah. Wow. Yeah.
The same distance, but the time it takes is longer because there are more people giving food.
Oh, I thought you are fast. You have to be faster because like so many people, you have to like walk really fast.
You cannot walk fast because people have to give food. How can you walk fast?
Oh.
If you walk fast, then they won't be able to give you any food. What kind of logic you're thinking?
Same, but wow, thousands of people. I can't imagine. Oh. Mm. Thailand is amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But that's most people in Thailand do is giving food, giving support to the Buddhism, but they don't practice much. They don't practice sila much, or they don't practice meditation much.
But we will never get to see that here, like the thousands of people giving. We'll never get to see that phenomena. Only in Thailand, probably.
Who knows, in the future things can change. Maybe Buddhism will move to the West, and it might thrive in the West in the future.
Yeah, you're right. Who knows?
Anything can happen. It doesn't really matter. What's matter is your practice more than anything else. So don't sidestep this issue. The main issue is your practice.
Yes, Ajahn.
How to get rid of your stress, how to prevent the stress from arising in your mind. Okay.
Yes, Ajahn. Yeah. Okay, Ajahn.
Thank you, Bante.
Okay. We'll go to Alfredo from Brazil. Alfredo, Rebecca.
Hi, Bante.
Hi. How are you?
It's good. Good explanation about Dhamma today, Bante.
Must be hot now and must be summer now in Brazil, huh?
Yes, now it's summer. Very rain, rain.
Very rainy. Okay.
Yes. On Friday, I travel, but I will travel on Friday.
Where will you go? Where are you going?
To Minas Gerais is a state of Brazil.
I see. For vacation, holiday?
No, I don't vacation. Only with my friends of motorcycle.
Oh, motorcycle.
Yes, my friends.
You have
10
motorcycle?
years.
You have motorcycle yourself?
Yes, I have 4 motorcycles.
4 motorcycles.
Yes.
Are they all big bikes or they are?
Yes. Big 1,000 cylinders.
Oh, 1,000 cc. Yeah. Okay.
Yes, very strong.
I see.
But
yes,
the peoples, you and me and other peoples of a group in past lives has practiced, but it's very coincidence you stay here with you and the other participants practice Dhamma, Bante?
yes, we have the same interest. So when we have the same interest, we tend to we tend to get together when we have a chance, like today.
Yes.
If you have no interest in Buddhism in the past, then you probably won't be in this room now.
Yes.
So,
Yes, in Forjana, but it's not the case, Bante. But I think is very respect to our past lives, Bante. You the practice now, ne? Say I like to think this.
your past life has influence on your present life. What you used to do will make you want to do the same thing like as before. If you used to like to ride bike in this life, you also will have bikes. Maybe in your past life, you also have bicycles, motorbikes in your past lives.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
Okay.
Not only Sotapana, but Sotapana is a height level, Bante.
Yeah, everything. It doesn't matter high or low level. It's what you used to do will become a habit. See? Then it will stick with you when you come to this life.
Yes.
But you can change the habit if you know it's useless. Like riding bike is useless. You can change that. Instead of riding bike, you stay at home and meditate instead. Sell your bike, give your bikes away. Then your next life you won't be riding bikes anymore. You'll become a Sotapanna instead.
Yes. But the is there a karma, Bante? In life,
Everything you do is karma. Everything you do
we
is
have
karma.
to do anything, Bante. How you take care university, take care other people's. It's a karma that you have to do, Bante.
Sometimes you don't have to do, but you do it because you see that you can make something useful and then you do it. But you don't have to do it. Like teaching Dhamma, I don't have to teach if I don't want to teach.
It's not an obligation, but
it's not obligation, and it's not habit either. It's just out of what you call sensibility. Say, like the Buddha, when he first became enlightened, he didn't want to teach. But then after considering the benefit that can happen to people, then he decided to teach for the benefit of other people.
Yes. Or compassion.
Yeah, compassion.
Yes.
So sometimes you do things not because you used to like to do or anything like that, but you find that it is good to do. It makes the world better. Let's put it that way. So you do it.
Yes. Any friends of me, once I have to teach in Dhamma, I say to him, I'm not teaching. I'm not preparing. Because not only preparing. The other people's not having Dhamma, not wanting Dhamma, but it's difficult peoples that having Dhamma, that want Dhamma, but
Well, if you know some Dhamma, you can teach them if you like, but don't make it as a profession. Your main profession or occupation should be practicing first to become enlightened.
Yes.
But just giving tips here and there is okay. If somebody wants to ask for a few tips, you can give them. But don't do it as like a full-time job. You don't want to teach as a full-time job yet. You want to practice as a full-time job first.
Yes. Other people's thinking we are have wisdom, but wisdom.
Well, occasionally you can give them a few tips what to do, but as long as you don't lose your direction, as long as you don't stop practicing, don't make your teaching to become an obstruction to your practice. That's the important thing.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. Enjoy your bike ride. Easy Rider.
Thanks.
You know Easy Rider?
On raining, but right on raining.
Yeah. Okay. All right.
I will practice. I will try to practice.
Okay, meditate when you ride. Okay, mindfulness.
a little meditation.
Okay. Okay. Next, Gek from Penang. Gek Yen So.
Good evening. No question, but I would like to say Sadhu times 3 to Claudia, Sister Claudia, for the translation. Yeah.
Okay. Next, Diana from Wales.
Greetings, Tanajan. I come to the end of a big project that I've been involved in for about 4 years, and so now I have time, but I'm planning things to do with the family, and I feel conflicted now because I know you say we should be content to do nothing but practice.
Try to sit down for a few hours without doing anything. This is doing something, but by not doing anything, you're achieving something. You are restraining your cravings. You are taking control over your cravings. Normally, your craving is the one that controls you, tells you what to do. Now you want to rebel. You want to be a rebel. Rise up and go fight against your cravings. Yeah, go ahead.
As a layperson, is it about balance or is it about doing as much as we can?
Yeah, as much as you can. The more, the better. Try to reduce all the other activities to a minimum or to zero if possible. So you can have maximum time for your practice only. But you might have to do it gradually. You might not be able to do it right away completely because you won't have the strength to do it. Because your craving is still strong. It's not easy to go against your cravings all the time. So you might be able to go against some easy craving, but not some difficult cravings.
Do you think as we get older and we're less able to do things, it gets easier? Or do you think the defilements come in anyway?
Yeah, age doesn't matter so much because what you do is in your mind, not in your body.
Mm.
Because when you meditate, you don't hardly use the body at all, right? You just sit down.
Mm.
But sickness and can be an obstruction to your practice. When you feel sick, you don't feel like meditating.
Mm. Mm-hmm. Thank
So
you.
so do it while you're still young and you're still not being affected by your sickness, by your body condition.
Mm,
Okay. All right.
thank
Next,
you.
Rudy. Rudy, where are you from, Rudy?
I came from Indonesia.
Yes. Go ahead. Can I help you?
I don't have, it's not just now, I don't have any question first.
Okay. I'll go to Dean, still in London.
Good.
Unmute your microphone.
Hi, Ajaan. Thank you.
Go
Ajaan.
ahead. Go ahead.
I'm in London. If there's one thing I would say, an update and ask you at the end is to do with sati and equanimity. It's always a pair. So I practice, and at the time of death, I see my thoughts or the internal mind, mental state is so fast, right? No matter how hard I try to practice now, it's very silly, you know. That could happen at any kind of condition. And then I'm trying to prepare for my thinking to, in the last moment, to think in this way so that I'll be okay. This is not going to work. So I saw this, right? It's not fast enough. So I investigate this and see that the only way is to deeply purify sati and equanimity until it's predominant, means at the background constantly running by default state. There's sudden death occurs. The only thing that matters, the only thing that will carry me through is the strength of the purity of sati and equanimity. Whatever small amount I can develop, not to be activated during the moment of death, but to have it constantly at the background. Or if I have enough skill to bring it to the foreground when I interact with people. So this revelation is, that links to another thing I want to ask you, which is, for a long time I think, the important thing is practice sati, concentration, because the main is panya, understanding. I love the purity of concentration, right? But I'm a human, no? I cannot be in this quiet tranquility and concentration. I need to open my eyes and do things. So the question leads to the panya part, I get all these panya, understanding all that, right? Moment of death, I die. Body stop functioning. Then if I born again, which I know what it's like to be born again and baby and you don't know anything, all this panya understanding, what for? So that thing I want to say is that I understand your emphasis for me to purify sati. And it's very hard to do because the default state for all of us is uncontrolled flow of consciousness. Otherwise, Buddha would not emphasize the need for determination, focus. It won't be necessary if it's so easy. So actually, Ajaan, you tell us to sit there and don't do anything for a few hours. It's harder to do, to practice, than to just, okay, stand up from meditation and go enjoy your life, do your thing. That is so much easier. You don't need to concentrate to do that. So I want to ask this thing that my emphasis is shifting to purifying sati. The panya, take second sit. I know the emphasis in the Buddha teaching is panya is the key to for me to break through, but I think it's a byproduct, and all my concentration should be in sati and samadhi. If I'm neglecting the panya wrongly, Ajahn, please help me, remind me, and maybe you say a bit about that to teach me a little bit more on this, please.
Well, you wanted me to talk about panya
in relation to sati and samadhi.
Okay. See, sati and samadhi is the strength of the mind. The ability of the mind to stop the defilement is dependent on the strength of mindfulness and excuse me, on strength of mindfulness and consequentially the ubekkha or equanimity. If you have strong mindfulness, you can stop the mind. When you can stop the mind, excuse me, when you can stop the mind, you can also stop the defilement. Because the defilement use the mind as the instrument for it to do things, to go about things. So this is what you need. Why wisdom just tells you the reason why you should not do what your defilement wants you to do. Because what the defilement wants you to do is to create stress for you. Because the objects that your defilement wants is really suffering or stress in disguise. You look at things that your defilement wants as happiness, something that will make you happy. When you see a bottle of drink, a plate of food, you say, this is good, this is delicious. But you don't think that it's temporary, that you might have this food sometime and sometime you might not have it. So if you don't have it, what do you feel like? You will feel sad, right? When you want something to eat and you cannot have it. So this is what wisdom tells you, that what the objects that can make you happy cannot be there for you all the time.
Yeah.
And when you cannot get what you want, then you will have dukkha or stress.
Yeah.
But if you see that it's not something that is reliable, it's not the true source of your happiness, but it's really a source of your dukkha. So when you see this, then you stop wanting anything. And rather just to have nothing and be happy with nothing. That's when you stop your craving. And when your craving stops, you'll find that you might have contentment in place of your cravings. So this is basically what the samadhi and wisdom have two separate functions. Samadhi is to stop the defilement. Wisdom, it tells you the reason why you should stop your defilement. Because your defilement will always take you to suffering, to stress, not to happiness, not to true happiness, false happiness, fake happiness.
Yeah. I can see the continue on.
So every time you think, if I go do this thing, I will be happy. You have to use wisdom to say, yes, but it's a temporary happiness. One day you will not be able to do it, then what would happen? Like when we have COVID, we're not able to go around doing things like we used to. What happened? We have to stay locked up in the house. We feel stressful, right? But if you don't have any desire to go out of the house to do anything, then you won't feel stressful if you're locked up in the house. So that is the advantage of not having any cravings as compared to having cravings. When you have cravings, you have to go after the things that you crave for in order to make you satisfied. But if you have no cravings, then there's no need for you to go after anything, and you can be satisfied, be content without having anything. So this is wisdom. You see that everything that you think will satisfy you cannot give you permanent satisfaction. They only give you temporary satisfaction. And when you cannot get them or lose them, then you can have stress or sadness. So this they are they do two separate things, but they need each other. You know, wisdom needs the support of equanimity or samadhi in order to be able to stop the defilements. With samadhi alone, samadhi doesn't know the reason why it should stop the defilement. So when the defilement says, "Let's go have a pizza," and you go, even if you have samadhi.
I see. Okay. So I see. It's the strength of sati and samadhi
can stop the defilement. But if it has no incentive to, if we have no reason for it to stop, it won't stop. So you need wisdom to give it the incentive to stop the defilement.
I see. It's the sati, samadhi, and panya.
They work as a team. They work as a team.
In fact, it's like the beginning trace of any of these parts. The other parts.
You need sati. You need sati to get to samadhi. Once you have samadhi, then you also need sati to teach your mind the truth, the Four Noble Truths and the three characteristics of existence.
Okay. I see. It's very fast. It's all together at the same time moving. Okay. So it's not. I don't need to treat it as a byproduct or secondary. I just focus on the sati and the samadhi. The panya is always with the growth of the strengthening of sati and samadhi.
Panya is also learning the truth.
Okay.
Learning that your craving is the creator of your stress. Because whatever object you could crave for is temporarily, can give you temporary satisfaction. And when you lose it or when you're not able to have it again, then you will have stress. You have.
Is every thought, every thinking that arises, whether helpful for me or not helpful, things that people talk about, I interact with. Sometimes when I choose to use the sati in the world, I can have glimpses of not dissimilar to visions of the dying corpse happening in front. Even the best teaching, the talks are mental content. Some are very, very useful and highly valuable. Even that, if I sit for 1 whole week of silent retreat, it fades away. So when I die, all this, the good is good, it serves its purpose. So panya, sati, samadhi, I think is the only thing that's worthwhile in life, because everything else will be disappointment.
That's right. With sati, with samadhi and wisdom, you can always generate contentment. You can keep producing contentment in yourself, in your mind. So you won't have to have anything to make you contented or happy, because you can be happy without having anything. If you have sati, samadhi, and wisdom, and panya.
And the first teaching, the first 5 khandhas was mentioned to me when I don't know anything about Buddhism. And now I know that I'm these 5 khandhas, and the suffering is within this framework of the mind and body, not outside. So even if I sit with my eyes closed in meditation, I could still suffer. It's all inside these 5 khandhas. And I don't know why I've been swimming in this suffering for so long. It's quite silly, but I didn't set out to cause trouble or create this suffering. I mean, if I know better, I would have stopped. So now I'm trying to learn how to stop this. Even if I'm 50 years old, it's a bit silly. It's like a small kid, no? So I will continue to practice. Ajaan, I've taken a lot of time, so I think I should move on and let other people.
Okay.
Thank you, Ajaan.
You're
Very
welcome.
appreciate.
All right.
Thank you.
Next, Alexa Aroka. Are you still in the Holland, in the Netherlands?
Yes, sir. Sadhu, thank you for having me there in your talk, in the Dhamma talk. Yes, I am still in Holland, and today they say here, winter without snow is like a summer without sun. And but we in Holland, 50% of the time is rain, so they don't have sun in the summer sometimes, and don't have snow. And today was not the snow, but these little white stones, and I was very happy. Me too. Yes, I am in Holland.
All right. Do you have anything to say or ask?
Well, I want to clarify something who is in my mind, for sure is not in your mind, but since I started following your Dhamma talkings or that we met, I had one PC, one telephone, and 3 laptops. But now finally I have a new telephone, and it's going very well. So I'm very happy because either the microphone did not open, or I have to come in and come out many times. I get a little bit messy out. This thing sometimes play fun on us. I know. So now you know. And another thing is that I have I try to put my keyboards in with a question sign, and it I don't know what happened this program. Therefore, often I have to make a statement on the Sundays, and I cannot make a question clear. So now you know when I make statements, but now I'm gonna try to use the telephone because I do with my laptop on Sundays. You understand? Or
Okay.
Okay, then you know it's not because I want to make statements, it's because I don't have the question.
Question mark on your phone. No question mark on your telephone.
Yes. No, on the
keyboard.
But I will try after this summer, this Sunday it was not. So next Sunday I will try with the telephone because with telephone is working beautiful. So I have much more joy to talk to you now because this stress is gone.
All right.
Yeah.
I'll move on then, okay?
Yes, thank you, sir. Thank you.
Okay.
I just want to say one thing more, teacher. You ask Upeka if he have seen the movie Easy Rider.
You might not understand what I said.
No, the reason is because we learn English at school, but we don't speak English in Brazil. I do more because I live in Europe. So the name of the movie there in Brazil is Without Destiny in Portuguese. It means sem destino. Then if you say so, he will answer you. I think for sure he saw this movie because it inspired me too. I also am an ex motor rider.
Okay.
I'm still crossing the world from these movies.
Yeah. I thought they all have the same name. I guess not. When you go to a different country, different language, they change the title to fit the language of the people.
Yes. Yes, they do that, and indeed, sometimes in Brazil it's a pity because they damage the context of it.
Okay, thank you for your info. Thank you for your info.
No, thank you, sir.
Next, Alisa Tan from Singapore or Malaysia.
Ajaan, good evening. I'm from Malaysia.
Can I help you?
Yes, Ajaan. Can you please help me to overcome sloth and torpor during meditation?
Yes, you have to fast. You have to eat a little, reduce your food intake. Keep yourself hungry. When you're hungry, you won't be sleepy. If you're full, you usually will be sleepy. So you don't have to eat too much. Try to eat just one or two meals a day, not after midday. Then in the evening when you meditate, you won't fall asleep.
I see. But normally I'll do meditations in the morning and I get up. So is that a proper time to do it? Because when I get up in the morning, I don't have any food yet. And normally I don't eat until afternoon.
Then you're still sleepy. It means you don't have enough sleep then.
Oh, okay.
Maybe you have to sleep earlier.
Mm.
Go to bed early so that you get up early in the morning and you have fully rested. Then you probably won't be sleepy. If you're sleepy still, then you have to do walking meditation instead, not sitting meditation.
Mm. For beginners in meditation, in sitting meditation, how long we should sit in for meditation?
As long as possible. Don't set up the time. Just sit until you feel you can no longer sit. Then you get up.
Mm.
If you set up the time, your mind will keep thinking about the time when it's going to be over. So you won't be concentrating on your meditation.
Mm.
So don't set up the clock. No, don't worry about the clock. Just worry about your mindfulness.
Okay.
You need mindfulness in order for your mind to become peaceful. So stay mindful. What do you do when you meditate? Do you use the breath or do you use the mantra Bhutto?
I will start off with the breath, and if I can no longer concentrate on the breath, like I'm feeling tired, I'll go to the mantra.
Okay, try to do that for as long as possible. Until you could no longer do it, then you just have to stop.
I will change like our chant Namo Tassa, but I think it's too short. Then I will change to the longer mantra.
Yes, you can chant anything you like.
Yeah.
In order to keep you continue with your meditation.
Okay.
But if you feel sleepy, then you have to get up and walk instead.
Mm. So I have to do walking meditation?
Yes, if you feel sleepy, when you sit and you start to fall asleep, then you have to get up and walk and do walking meditation. Because if you sit and sleep, then it's just like sleeping anyway.
Yeah. Then normally I would just like open up my eyes and I stop doing meditation. Yeah.
Do walking meditation. You can walk.
Okay,
and
I try.
You can use your step, watch your step, left and right, or you can recite the mantra Bhutto, Bhutto as you walk.
Okay, Ajahn. Thank you, Ajahn.
All right, you're welcome. Next, Vandana. Vandana. It depends on how you read it, I guess. Vandana, Vandana. How do you read it? How do you pronounce your name?
Vandana.
Vandana, okay.
Yes.
This is more Asiatic, right? Vandana is
Oh,
Vandana is more westernized.
Yeah, they call me Vandana here in California, so I got used to both of them. I don't correct anyone anymore. I used to. First of all, I want to say thank you so much for your talk today. It brought a lot of bliss and joy just now listening to your talk. And I just want to say that I feel more and more becoming more and more mindful, following your techniques, and of course, try to follow 8 or 9 precepts as much as possible. And one thing which I'm kind of now getting into, as you always say, do vipassana after shamatha. So when I'm done with the meditation practice, and which is the best thing which is happening for us as Clear Mountain Monastery, that our Ajans, they started morning and evening meditation. So in the morning we do it 4:30 to 5:30. So that is wonderful, doing wonders for the practice for all of us. So for me, I'm moving towards now vipassana. So and which is happening naturally. I don't have to try for it, as my mind is, after the meditation, in any situation, start to contemplate anicca, dukkha, anatta in all situations. And it's happening naturally. But sometime when I see the suffering, for example, yesterday, my sister told me about a young lady who died while taking children for hiking. And the tree fell because we are having heavy snow, not snow, yeah, of course, snow on the mountains we can see, and then wind and rain too much. And she was taking children for a hike, and then tree fell and she died. And my sister showed me her picture because their kids goes to the same school. And all of a sudden, my heart filled with pain for the kids, because she left behind 6-year-old. I think the child is in 6th grade, yes, 9 or 10 years old. So again, in the meditation in the morning today, the tear came into my eyes, just thinking about those kids. They're too young to lose a young mom. So I want to understand this mind. I know this is, the body will end, no matter it's a young child or an old person, the body is going to go and we have to let it go. But when I felt about the children, my heart just felt very sad. I started to cry during my meditation. And of course, when I started listening to you, the joy and the bliss arised. So I can see this impermanence right now. The things are changing right now within me. But can you please explain how to tell my mind when I see a young child crying for a mom? What should I tell myself? Because I can't help it. It's suffering. I can see the suffering, and people who don't practice meditation, for them is even double and triple suffering, because they cannot go beyond that pain. And how to help those people, and how to help myself first, because I feel so much compassion, sadness for the children who must be crying, losing their mom at such young age. So please provide some wisdom on that.
Well, the answer to your problem is that you don't have enough equanimity yet. If you have strong equanimity, then you don't react. You just accept. You say, well, this is the way it is. What can you do? By feeling sad, does it change anything or not? Yeah. So your problem is that you don't meditate enough yet. You don't have enough strong equanimity to remain non-reactive to any situation. Excuse me. Okay. What can you do? Things happen, right? And the best way to deal with things is to not to react to anything. Just to merely accept. Or be aware. Or merely knowing. The Buddha said, what you see, just merely see. What you hear, just merely hear. Don't do any mental manufacturing. Don't create any thought or any thinking about children, thinking about anything. Don't do anything.
Yeah,
Leave
I was
everything
not
alone.
doing it. Yeah, I was not doing it. It's just popped in, right? When you meditate, the objects start to pop in, and then you observe them.
That's
and you
because
let go.
that's your natural reactions.
Yes.
So you want to reprogram your reaction by doing more meditation. The more meditation that you have, the more upekkha you have, the more equanimity, then the less reaction you will have eventually. And eventually you won't have any reaction at all.
Yeah, so I never met with those people. I just saw the picture on the phone. And but my question is that if Arhant, when they see somebody suffering, they don't react or they don't take any action. They just let it be and they just move on with their own practice.
They see this is what it is. Birth is suffering, aging, sickness, and death is suffering. See? So if you don't want this suffering, don't born.
Yeah.
Don't take birth. They see this is the consequence of having birth, that's all. And there's nothing they can do anything about it. The only thing they can do is to prevent their own birth, that's all. They cannot help stop other people's birth. Everybody has to stop their own birth if they want to be free from suffering.
The young children, they don't know, they don't have any concept of this, like 6-year-old or 7-year-old.
Maybe don't feel as maybe they don't suffer as you suffer because they don't know anything. And eventually somebody will look after them anyway.
Yeah.
Or if nobody look after them, they'll become homeless. You know, things happen, and eventually we all gonna end up dead anyway. No matter how things happen, sooner or later we all gonna end up dead. You have to look at the whole picture, the total picture.
Oh, I do it. It's just at that moment when the child is suffering, I feel sad. The child is suffering. I can just provide my metta to them, and that's all I can do.
So it's a sign to tell you that you're not yet have enough equanimity. You haven't yet gone far enough in your meditation practice. So you have to do more now. See?
But you should be do anything if somebody needs help, right?
Well, if it's within your ability or your concern, then you have to do it. But you don't go around the world and help everybody, do you? Every time you see somebody suffer, you go and help them.
Whoever I meet, then I can't. Oh, yeah, of course, nobody can help everybody in the world, but
Okay.
but whoever we meet every day, if they are suffering, we can try to at least lessen their suffering a little bit with providing some help if we can, right?
If you can, if they need you.
Yeah, exactly.
Sometimes they might not need you.
Yeah, when they need us, then we should go ahead and help them. Like Buddha always, I saw Buddha with so compassionate with even animals.
But at the same time, you have to look after your own mind also.
Yeah.
You must not let it be consumed by grief, by stress, by suffering either.
Yes, not the
So
grief.
you have to help yourself too, not just helping other people. You have to help yourself. Maybe this is what they mean by having self-metta, having self-loving kindness. You also have to love yourself.
Yeah. Yeah, at the same time, if you can help yourself and also other people, then I think that's for me it's a correct practice, because Buddha was like compassionate.
You must not feel sad first. You have to help yourself first. If you feel sad, you won't be able to do much. Yeah. When you are happy, you can do much better than when you are sad.
Yes. Yeah. So that's what I try to do. I calm down and try to do, okay, now with the logical mind, what can I do to help these people if they need my help? Yeah.
If you want to go higher, you have to take this as a lesson in birth. This is what you get when you're born.
Yeah.
Suffering.
I hope everybody get these teachings because they are so beneficial for people, but not everybody gets it. And not everybody has this opportunity to listen to you or other teachers to come out of this suffering slowly. It's a long process, but it's beneficial. Thank you so much, Ajaan.
Okay. I hope you feel better now.
No, I am. That's the thing. The feeling comes, and then after I come out very pretty fast now. Because of the meditation, I come out with. But yeah, I just ask you why even this suffering comes, and it goes, but it comes. It goes, it comes. But then slowly, I think it becomes the steady line. Right now is this, and then it will go like this, maybe straight line. Yes.
You need more work. You need more meditation. You need more
because I'm
more
teaching
wisdom.
5 classes is overload work. I try to do 2-3 hours still meditation, because I know if I'm teaching 5 classes, I should be doing at least 2-3 hour meditation. But yeah, it's work in progress, Ajaan.
Okay, keep it up.
Thank you.
All right. Next, Sulan. Okay, we have about 8 minutes left, so you have to be quick now.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Thank you, Ajahn. Happy Mahapuja Day to you. Yeah. Sorry, can you hear me?
Yes.
Yeah. Oh, happy to see you again. Yeah, and happy Maga Pujati. And I was reading about your post yesterday. Then I saw that you, I think the Facebook post, it was Amata Dhamma. I came across this term. Then I wanted to find out what does Amata means.
Amata means everlasting, forever,
Oh, okay.
eternal.
Eternal.
Okay.
Okay. And then I was also like trying to read up more because I felt really inspired by the post, the Facebook post. Then I found that it's from this Amata Dhamma book. Yeah. Then I think there was one phrase inside the passage. It says that it says, do we actually accept the Dhamma with our total mind and heart? So I just wanted to ask, like, how do we accept the Dhamma, the teachings with total mind and heart?
You mean you do it 100%, commit yourself 100% to the practice.
Oh, okay. 100%.
Means you have to give up your work and everything and go and live as a nun.
Oh. Oh, okay. Yeah. Maybe I
Maybe,
haven't reached there yet. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah.
I have to move on now. Okay.
Okay. Thank you, Ajahn. Thank you.
I'll go to Bruce Lee next. Bruce Lee, did your friend from Indonesia came by this morning to the temple?
Yes, Ajahn.
She didn't mention your name though, but I saw the note she wrote.
Okay. She's very determined to see you and make Dana.
Yeah, she came by herself, alone.
Yes. Some of us call her Virya.
Quite brave to travel alone in a foreign country.
Where she can speak.
Okay, thank you for your offering.
Happy Ajahn.
You have anything to say or ask?
No question, Ajahn. Thank you very much.
And I'll go to the last person here. I cannot read your name. Viva Ubasika Viva. Where are you from? Please go ahead and speak. Hello? Cannot hear you. Something wrong with your microphone, maybe. Can you speak? Can you hear me? I guess not. Would you like to say something? Go ahead. Subha Kumaro.
There's something wrong with his mic.
Okay. Well, I have to move on, okay, because we cannot communicate, cannot hear you. Try to check your mind and see if we can come back later. Or next time, because we're running out of time. We still might have some more questions from Facebook, which Kunjuk will help read for us. Kunjuk, is there any questions from Facebook?
Namaskaran. We have 5 questions so far this evening. The first 2 questions are from Hemant Chawan. What is Sangha dosa? Please explain. I have read that it takes one to the 8th narka.
Sangha dosa.
Yes, I've looked that up, and it means that when you acquire bad habits from being around bad company.
Yes.
And so his question is that this takes you to the 8th narka, which means hell.
Well, bad people will lead you to do bad karma. So if you do bad karma, then you go to the 4 undesirable realm of existence. And it depends on how bad your bad karma are. See, hell is the worst of your bad karma. Okay.
The next question is, can you please explain what is samatha?
Samatha means the practice of calming your mind. Samatha bhavana, calming your mind with the practice of mindfulness. Focus on an object such as your breath to prevent your mind from thinking about other things. If you can stop your mind from thinking, then your mind can become calm, peaceful, and happy. This is called samatha.
The next question is from Pauline Soon. When in calm state without knowing the arising mind state, like when the mind and the body are joined together and the breathing is nice, then the defiled thinking arises. Is this because of the kilesa in our mind?
It's a lack of mindfulness. When you don't have mindfulness, your mind can think and usually it's being driven by your defilement or your kilesa. So you have to keep practicing a lot of mindfulness in order to be able to stop your mind from thinking.
The next question is from Yepto Yep. Namaste Ajaan. If an arahant dies after cremation, he immediately takes out the relics. Is it only an arahant who can take out relics after death?
Well, the bones of arahants, some part of it will become relics. It looks like precious stones, they're small pieces. But for ordinary people like us, our bone will never turn into relics. The reason is that because an arahant has a pure mind, and this pure mind is supposedly purifying the body and cause some parts of the bone to become stone, become precious stone, and we call relics. So it depends on the amount of time of the mind being pure. See? If you happen to become enlightened today and you die tomorrow, then the pure mind won't have much time to purify the body. So it's unlikely that the body of that person the remain of that person will turn into relics, because there isn't much time for the purified mind to purify the body also. But if you become an arahant and you live for another 20 years, then the likelihood that your body, some parts of your bone has already become relics already. So when you die, when they cremate the body, then some parts of the bone will have relics attached to it, turn into precious stone.
And Yepto is asking further that if someone gets a relic from a monk, is that person an affinity for the relic?
No, it means it's something to remind you of the possibility that you can become an arahant. It's a message, really, to remind you that if you keep practicing, following the teaching of the Buddha, you can become an arahant. This is just a testimony of the fact that if you follow his teaching, you can become an arahant. That's all it is. It's just like a message.
And the last question is from Liberty Lai. Can you please advise us on asawa control on a daily basis? Satu.
Asava is just another name of defilement. And you can control your defilement with mindfulness and wisdom.
That is all.
Okay.
Yes.
If you practice mindfulness and wisdom, you will eventually be able to control all of your defilements or asava. Okay, I think that's about it for today. That's all about the time we have. Thank you for your participation in this meeting. I hope you can benefit and help you advance in your practice. In the meantime, please stay safe, stay mindful, and keep on practicing. And if all goes well, I'll see you all at the same time next week. Thank you and goodbye.
สาธุเจ้าค่ะ
Thank you, Raja.
Ajaan, thank you, Raja.
Thank you, admin.
Thank
Thank
you,
you.
admin.
Amin, everyone.
Thank you, Chinju.
Bye.
Good night,
Thank you.
everyone.
Bye bye. Good night.
Bye, admin.
Boy, thank you.